Are we live? I think we're live. I think we're live. I don't know if I'm live. I don't know if you guys can hear me or not. But tough times, man. Tough times for us system administrators and network administrators. I'm hoping you guys are able to hear me. I want to make sure that you guys could probably see me. Let me know if you guys can hear me out. If you can hear me, send me a chat, do something. Let me know that you guys are able to hear me. So, yep, awesome. Thank you, thank you. So, guys, for us system admins and network administrators, tough times right now. I am actually at my 9 to 5 job right now, getting everything ready. I got a couple of things that I just want to go over that hopefully you guys are prepared. I myself, I live in a town that right next to the town they just quarantine it, and it's extremely kind of scary. So, a couple of things that I want to go over: VPN, virtual private network. Guys, please make sure you have enough licenses, enough seats within your VPN server, or if you're taking advantage of a firewall and that firewall is configured to do VPNs, make sure that you have enough licenses for that. If your VPN is configured to distribute IP addresses within a dynamic range, make sure you have enough IP addresses to provide to all your VPN users. Bandwidth. Bandwidth is another huge thing. Make sure that you have a strong bandwidth. There's been cases, I have a lot of clients that are automatically contacting Time Warner, Cogent, Verizon to see if they're able to upgrade their bandwidth because a lot of people are trying to work from home or trying to remote into their machines. RDS is another thing for remote desktop. If you for remote desktop, there's so many ways to do remote desktop. If you are a small business owner and you don't have access to remote desktop or anything like that, the best thing that you guys could do is install TeamViewer, right? TeamViewer is kind of hard right now because the free version doesn't allow you to remote into a business setting. So you only got like 5 minutes to use it. I would say go for it. Pay for TeamViewer so you can have the business class, and then you won't have any issues getting dropped off. TeamViewer allows you to install. They open up the firewalls. You're able to log in, use the thing. The only caveat about TeamViewer is that you have to have the machine up and running. That's the only problem, right? I don't believe in NAT policies. Like right now, I'm focused on configuring, make sure my firewalls. I'm at my 9 to 5 job right now, so I'm configuring everything, making sure everyone is healthy. I'm actually monitoring the remote desktop settings to make sure everyone is going. NAT policies, network. I think network address translation. I don't believe in that. All right. I've seen clients that have firewalls configured to take their LAN IP address and convert it into a public IP address. That is a huge kind of security issue. So I don't advise that you configure a NAT to NAT policy within your firewall. The best that you could do if you have the ability to purchase a server, configure a gateway server, right? Got a middleman. Gateway server has its own IP address. You're able to configure the firewall. You're able to configure the port to whatever you want, and from there, people are able to use their Active Directory user account to log into the gateway, and then it goes into their machine. I will go that route. Management of who's logging into your network. Again, TeamViewer, if you're a small business and you're not able or you don't have an IT person in place and you don't have a firewall, you don't have a VPN, you don't have RDS, you don't have virtual desktop infrastructure, I would say go for TeamViewer. Do that. That's the best thing that you guys could do. TeamViewer, purchase the license and go for it. Um, for communication, right? I have a lot of people that will remote desktop into their machine to check email. If you're using Office 365 or gmail.com, you don't need to remote into your machine to check email. Just go to gmail.com on your machine locally, log in, check your Gmail like that. Office 365 has its own office.com portal. Log in that way to access your stuff. You're able to check email that way. Microsoft Team is another option for those individuals that are taking advantage of Office 365. If you need to video chat or text or share documents, use Microsoft Team. You're also Office 365 user, take advantage of that. Slack is another popular application, take advantage of that. If your infrastructure or your 9 to 5 job is using Slack, take advantage of that. There's so many ways to communicate with each other. Or hey, just pick up the damn phone, pick up the phone and call each other. It's not that hard. Don't really need to text each other or video conference each other. Zoom is extremely popular. We not too long ago, my IT manager got off the phone with the Zoom people, and believe it or not, they've been having massive amount of people creating Zoom accounts because that is the go-to that everyone is using. Go-to meeting, go-to webinar, WebEx. That's letting that pass. Right now, everything is Zoom, 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 and they are extremely overwhelmed. They have people 24 hours working, and there's a lot of accounts being created. You are able to create a Zoom account for free. You have one-to-one meetings, which is unlimited, and you have about 100 participants that could join together, but it's a limitation of only 40 minutes. So it's a free account. Take advantage of that. If you need more than 40 minutes, you have to purchase it. I think it's like $10 a month. If you want to have like maybe 10 or more hosts, it's like $20 a month. So again, there's many ways to do this. For systems, guys, if you are a system admin, network administrator that cannot be in a job 9 to 5 like me, like I'm in right now, make sure that you guys are backing up your systems. You got full backup, cloud backup, tape backup. If you are a person like me, likes to automate everything, like work smarter, not harder. Make sure all your scripts are up to point. Make sure everything is up to point. Like right now, I just established about 2 weeks ago, because we was planning this whole coronavirus thing and people working from home. I actually synced up a 5 terabytes of files up to the cloud to our Azure system. I created a storage account. I synced all those files over, and I was able to, like, if someone can access VPN or network or whatever, they have internet access, I'm able to give them a special link. They're able to mount the file share on their home computer with the credentials that I give them with the username and password, and they're able to log in to the file share, which is located into the cloud, right? So I would suggest that you guys prepare yourself for those individuals that cannot be at work. Us system admins and network administrators are we're number one. We have to be there for everyone. I would definitely like to hear what you guys are actually doing right now. I saw a couple of you guys mention that you're using RDS, VDI. I want to see if you guys are preparing yourself for a situation on your end. Anyone? I know a couple of you guys chatted, send some information. I just want to know if you guys are prepared. I moved the client to Box, move file server completely to the Box Enterprise unlimited storage. That is super smart. Try to plan ahead. Like right now, like I know for certain job sites, it's all about money. It's really tough budget. But if you got to do what you need to do, go for it. You even have Dropbox. Dropbox, you're able to have like an enterprise unlimited storage. Drop everything inside Dropbox. The only problem is if you guys are syncing up 3 terabyte of information right now, uploading everything to Dropbox is going to take forever. The best that you could do is try to talk to project managers within your 9 to 5 job and let them know, okay, send me a list of what projects you guys need right away, and start syncing them up to whatever cloud services you guys have. So right now I'm at the chat right now. I'm reading a couple of things so I could hopefully answer. Someone said VPN, RDS, VDI3 main essentials have been deployed. Awesome. Great job. That is super awesome. All right, cool. Also deploy a bunch of Aruba. Yup, Aruba. If you have those type of systems, go for it. 15 per user. I was able to secure FTP and data box and move over to nice. But how long did it actually take you to move those 4 terabytes over to those services? Windows Virtual Desktop. Oh man, great. That's awesome too. But with Windows Virtual Desktop, it really depends if you have the budget. I was actually checking that out, and for us, it was not going to work out because it's going to be extremely pricey. Someone said you have to CrowdStrike first. This is all great right here, guys. I love the feedback. Like, what else? Anyone else have other things that you guys are actually implementing right now? Are you guys able to get to your job right now and work like I'm doing right now? I'm configuring the firewall. I'm monitoring all all the VPN access. Make sure everyone's able to get. My question to you guys: how are you guys handling Mac users? I would love to know how you guys are handling Mac users. Now, the way that I handle the Mac users at my 9 to 5 job is the following. The backup plan is TeamViewer, right? And the primary is allow the Mac users to VPN into our network, and then they're able to mount their Mac server over VPN. That first option has worked out extremely well. I had a lot of Mac users enjoy that. The speed was great. A couple of Mac users did not like it, and it wasn't my fault. My part with the firewall network setting is mostly their connection, because they have a Wi-Fi connection and they was trying to VPN into our network and they was trying to mount the server and access Photoshop, InDesign, Illustrator files over their Wi-Fi. So it was kind of sluggish. But when I configured their home laptop to VPN and I gave them a username and password, I gave them a license sheet, they were able to use it with no problem. So VPN for the Mac users is the way to go, especially if the Mac user at your 9 to 5 job has a Mac at their home. They could take advantage of the VPN services built in on the Mac OS. You don't need the Mac users don't really need to download an app or anything, right? Uh, One of the things I like about Mac is Mac has a built-in VPN, and all you gotta do is just configure it, and then they're good to go. All right, we got one person that started migration on AWS, which is Amazon, or was it Amazon? Amazon something web services. That's another option too. I would like to see how much is that going to cost you. What type of migrations? What kind of migrations are you doing on AWS? Are you only moving over files? Are you creating desktops to allow your users to remote into AWS? Are you managing that? It is crazy. Like I'm constantly getting emails right now. We're trying to take advantage of Microsoft Teams. That's another utility that a lot of people are not used to. Also, phone systems. How are you guys taking advantage of phone systems? Like we have VoIP systems, so our vendor right now has like a client that allows you to download the app on the phone. You're able to redirect all the phone calls to the phone or redirect everything into a mobile device. So VoIP is the way to go. So hopefully you guys have VoIP systems and don't house or manage your own phone systems inside your job. We used to do that, and it was a pain, extreme pain. We just bought 3CX VoIPs. Awesome. 40 client VPN for Mac and PC. Oh, all right, Virtual Hawk. Mitel client. Oh, I'm with you. I am with you, Virtual Hawk. That's the same system that I have. But I'm talking directly to you, Virtual Hawk. How's your thoughts? What's your thoughts about Mitel services? Like they've been having a lot of issues lately. I think in the past couple of months they had a lot of issues with their phone systems being down and kind of always constantly upgrading. It's like a missing. It's like a miss, and it's a hit and miss with Mitel. That's what I've noticed so far. Yep, I agree with you. Customer service is hit and miss with them. Sometimes they're great, sometimes they're not. I think in the past I've noticed a lot of problems with their phones. The Mitel app, the theory behind everything that they do is great, but sometimes is like a hit and miss. Oh damn, you're lucky if you haven't had a lot of issues. I've been having a lot of issues lately with them. All right, Mandu, Mindu. Sorry if I pronounced that wrong, but if you I would suggest if you're installing Skype for Business as a server, I would try and utilize the Office 365 Skype for Business that's already built in within, I think it's E2 or E3. You automatically have Skype for Business, so I don't think there's no need to create an actual Skype server to allow people to go in. So if you have E2 or E3 within Office 365, you automatically have Skype for Business. All they have to do is log in with their email address and password. If you have your Office, if you have your Office 365 synced up to your Active Directory, they can use their Active Directory password and then they're good to go. Yup, hitting spaghetti. Yup, you are. I have to agree with you. Hitting spaghetti. There's a lot of VPN requests right now. Like I said, right now, at the beginning of the live stream, make sure you guys have enough licenses. I've had a lot of people come to me like Friday. Bernardo, do you have a laptop? Bernardo, do you have a laptop? Do you have available laptops that I could do this? Could I do that? Could I do this? Could I do that? So Friday, I was like handling laptops like this was a government line, and I was giving out free cheese. I was like, ah, here. I was going crazy setting up laptops. I literally had like maybe 10 laptops around me, and I was just configuring, make sure VPN was up to date, make sure all Windows updates were pushed out, make sure all Pixie boot them into SCCM or MDT, image them, re-image them, redeploy everything, and then provide it to the users. Friday was extremely busy for me. Um, the only reason that I'm at the job right now is because we're trying to take advantage. I have a lot. We try to take advantage of Microsoft Team. Microsoft Team is like a hit and miss. It hasn't been working as great because we only have a few Zoom accounts, right? And we was trying not to use all the Zoom accounts that we have, and we was trying to take advantage of the video and audio on Microsoft Team, and it's like really wonky. But eventually, what we did was purchase more Zoom accounts for each department head to have one, to have a personal one. We have Flatjack King. I have to finish setting up laptops tomorrow. I feel you. Tomorrow, I don't even know what's going to happen tomorrow. Right now, I'm dealing with what's happening today, and I'm just making sure people are able to remote into their desktops successfully. I'm making sure that my dynamic IP range that I have set up for my VPN is available. I have enough IP addresses to establish those individuals that are VPNing into the network with no problem because I'm trying to avoid any headaches. And what? Oh my God, 3 p.m. And I guarantee you, you was trying to leave at 5 It was gonna happen on Friday. I was the same way, man. I literally had maybe 4 or 5 people come to me. I need laptops around 4:30 p.m. in the afternoon on a Friday, and I'm like, oh, I'm here all day. I'm literally in my office all day, and all of a sudden you want to come to me at 4:30 asking for a damn laptop. Are you serious? It's like it's really hard to plan stuff out. Like you could be prepared as system admins or network administrators. It's always good to be prepared, but sometimes it's like, come on. No, we got lives too, people. Ooh, those are good firewalls. The only I think too extremely expensive, but it is a pain in the butt configuring. Sonic Wall is not that bad as well. Broadcade is also good dealing with firewalls. I've dealt with those three vendors most, so they're pretty good. Thank you, thank you. I know I haven't done a server room episode for a while, but I've been extremely busy with pushing out more content to you guys, different content, trying to like mix it up a little bit. It's because I was doing it all by myself, and I just don't have the resources to push out the content that I want to push out to you guys. I'm very limited with servers, and I'm not I don't have the money like that. So whatever I have, I try to push out to you guys as much as possible. I feel you, Mike. Mike said we had many requests for laptops. Luckily, we had a lot of older Lenovo laptops we did not plan to repurpose. That's another crazy thing because I have old laptops. Like the old laptops that I actually have at my 9 to 5 job are like Latitude D620s and D630s, and these are like some solid dick laptops. And then when you give it to the user, it's like, oh, this is too heavy. I'm like, you asked for a laptop last minute. This is all I got. You got to take it or leave it. And it's work. All you're going to do is VPN and check email and do some Word documents, but you can actually just go into office.com, log in, and use Word online, right? So users are never happy. It's like it's so freaking crazy. Like I'm giving you a laptop, but you're complaining because it's thick and it's too heavy. Like, come on, seriously? All right, Lewis, I'm gonna recap for you. The reason that I'm live right now is because we're in tough times. System admins, network admins, we are the first line of defense right now, right? I have a checklist right now. I'm at my 9 to 5 job right now, going crazy, making sure everything is working, make sure the backups are running, make sure VPN is up and running. So some of the basic things that you guys should be doing, and you guys should add more stuff into it because I'm probably missing stuff. So whatever you guys push out to me, I'm gonna write it down, and I'm like, oh shoot, I didn't even think of that. So VPN, make sure your VPN is set up correctly. Make sure you have enough licenses for everyone that's going to VPN into your network. Because right now, tough times, a lot of people are going to telecommunicate and they're going to be working from home. So make sure you guys have enough licenses. If your VPN is set up in a way that you have to distribute IP addresses, make sure that your dynamic IP address pool has enough IP addresses to provide to all your users. Like, come on, if you have about 200 to 300 users VPNing, make sure that everyone has an IP address. Most likely, you might have to configure a bunch of subnets to provide different IP addresses and ranges and stuff. Just make sure that bandwidth is another problem. Um, I know certain VPNs have like a certain concurrent users that are able to log into the to the network, and that could cause an issue as well. Remote desktop for those small business users out there that cannot afford a server, cannot afford a firewall or servers and stuff. I would say just go for it and purchase a Teamviewer. Now you can't use Teamviewer for free. I mean, because TeamViewer for free, they're smart. So as soon as you log in into your office computer, they're automatically gonna say, "Oh, this is commercial use, and you can only use TeamViewer for 5 minutes, and it's gonna drop off." So I'll say go for it, purchase the business license for TeamViewer, and then you're able to use it with no problem. I strongly do not believe in configuring your firewall to do a NAT to NAT. So what NAT to NAT? A NAT stands for, correct me if I'm wrong, network address translation. So that basically means if within your firewall you're able to configure a LAN IP address and then convert it into a public IP address. I don't really like that because again, that public IP address is public. Anyone could hack into it. If you don't configure the firewall correctly to change the default RDP port, which I'm assuming is 3389, if you don't configure your IP address, if you don't configure your firewall correctly, it will use the default port 3389. I think that's it, right? And then that public IP address 3389 is open. Anyone is able to get into your firewall and do all kinds of crazy crap into your network. You don't want to do that. Uh, Another way, VPN, get a VPN client. People have to install it, or you could install and configure a gateway. A gateway, basically, you're able to modify the port. People are able to log into that gateway using the Active Directory credentials, and then it will reroute them to their machine on their network. Only problem with remoting into their machines is that the machines have to be on, right? And you have to also configure and change the power settings so the hard drive won't go to sleep, or the hard drive won't go to sleep, because if the hard drive goes to sleep, shit, pardon my French, pardon my language, you can't remote into your machine. It's going to be a hard time, right? And you also have, if you're smart, you're able to configure the BIOS to do, what is it, wake on LAN, and then you're able to just shoot packets to all the machines to wake up. That's one route. Communication is another important thing. These are a couple. I'm just doing some highlights of what I went over. Communication is another thing. There's so many ways to communicate. The basic one that everyone could do is pick up the damn phone, call each other, and just talk to each other. But if you don't want to call each other, right, you have Zoom, which is extremely popular right now. There's a lot of people buying Zoom accounts left and right. But you are able to create a free Zoom account, and with the free Zoom account, you only have 40 minutes, right? One-on-one, if you're talking to each other one-on-one, it's unlimited, and then you have a limit of 100 hosts, which is not bad. If you need more than that, purchase it. Microsoft Teams and Skype for Business. If you have Office 365, those two services will allow you to do video and audio with no problem. VoIP. If you're using VoIP, I believe, what's my friend's name? My good man on the thing, Hawk. Virtual Hawk and myself, we're both using Mitel as a primary vendor. VoIP allows you to have a Mitel app on the phone. You're able to redirect your phone calls from that. If a client is trying to contact you from your office phone, your Mitel app will call on your phone, and you're able to pick up with no problem. Slack, I know a lot of businesses are using Slack. Take advantage of Slack. That is the way that you're able to communicate with each other. For systems, file shares, and stuff, make sure that you guys are backing everything up. If you're like me, I like to work smarter, not harder. So I have everything automated to the point that, you know, I could just click a couple of scripts and everything's just running smoothly. I just got to make sure everything is running smoothly. I know my IT manager was like, "Oh, Bernardo, can you not do remotely?" And I was like, "Okay, these are a couple of things that I can't do remotely, but I have everything kind of like lined up, right?" Make sure that your file share is being backed up somewhere in the cloud and that you're able to access it or give access to one of your users. For me, I just established about a couple of weeks ago when this whole coronavirus thing started, I created an Azure storage account, and I created like a 5 terabyte storage account because that's the limit that Azure gives you for a storage account. And I started syncing all our file shares, all our files and folders up to Azure. So that allows me to create a special link to provide to a user, right? Give them the instructions, how to mount, how to access it, and they're able to access all their files within the Azure server locally into their machine. They don't need to VPN, they don't need to remote into their machine. Now, the crappy thing about that is if Microsoft is also having issues, no one's able to access anything, right? So it's weird. That's crazy. It actually makes you realize, like, for us. For I could speak for myself as a system administrator slash network administrator. It's really hard. Even my IT manager, it's really hard to like tell people we need this money for this and this and this, and people are telling us like, oh no, do you really need it? Nothing's gonna really happen, and stuff like this happen, and all of a sudden, boom, okay, here's the money. Like I told you 2 years ago, 3 years ago, that we needed this service, we needed this money just in case, and now you want to give it to me because of this? It's crazy. I just don't understand it. It's just nuts. So I feel you. I feel. I was wondering if you could open VPN server for Windows. Open VPN for service for Windows. Yes, you are able to use Open VPN server for Windows. Um, just got to configure the Windows VPN services to work for your OpenVPN. Because or if you have an OpenVPN server configured, make sure that your Windows users also install the OpenVPN client to connect to your server. That should work out with no problem. How do you manage to redirect phone calls to mobile from home? Mindu, I think that's how I'm saying it right. I'm horrible with names. It really depends on your carrier, right? Like, what's your primary carrier? Are you managing all your phones locally? Like, you have your own like switch and everything within your 9 to 5 job? Or are you using a VoIP system? Because if you're using a VoIP system, most likely the portal, like for example, for MyTel, for me, if you go to the portal, you're able to forward all the calls to a particular phone, cell phone number, right? If the phone, rings 3 times and no one picks up, it gets automatically forwarded to a phone number. And with Mitel, you also have an app, so you don't really need to forward anything. Yeah, I know about, yeah, Teamviewer 2016, but that was like 4 years ago. And Teamviewer, believe it or not, they're on their game. They kind of improve a lot of the security stuff. They're okay, but like if you're in a tight situation, you need something right away. I would say go for Teamviewer. You know that it's one of the, you can't afford VDI services, RDS services, VPN services, right? Or you can't create a gateway. I would say go for TeamViewer. I know there are other services, but I know TeamViewer is the only one that I know so far. Okay, so you're managing all your phone servers local on an IP base. So you gotta, whatever vendor you have, there has to be an option for you to go into the, to your client or server or whatever you're using to manage the IPs, to manage your phones. There has to be a section that allows you to forward to a cell phone. I knew when I was using, damn, what's the name of that carrier we used to use? We used to have our phones locally, and I forgot the name of the carrier. Avaya. We used to have Avaya, and Avaya used to have this old Windows XP application, and but I was able to go into the user account, and the user account was assigned to a number, and there was a particular tab that allows me to enter a cell phone number to be redirected. So if a phone rang a couple certain amount of times, it will be redirected to the cell phone. So there has to be an option. Just make sure you look for it. It has to be there. Any connect, ugh, it is a pain. I mean, it's a pain setting up and configuring, but once you got it up and running, it works flawless. It's just it's a lot of things that you need to do on your network. Make sure you got the certain ports ready, and it's a pain in the butt. But if you get it working, you're good to go. All right, we have Google Remote Desktop. All right, I actually, believe it or not, I have a couple of users at my 9 to 5 job that have Chromebooks, personal Chromebooks. So they was like, okay, Bernardo, and they was like, we have a Chromebook. How can I remote into our machine? I did talk to my IT manager about using um, Google Remote Desktop. There used to be an extension, but there's not an extension anymore. I guess there's like an agent or a client that you're able to install, so that's pretty cool. But my IT manager, he said that he tested it out and it wasn't working too good, right? And I think Google Remote Desktop will work well if you're using Gmail as your primary email services, right? Because if you don't have a Gmail, like what is it called, the G Suite thing. If you don't have a Gmail, if your primary email is not Gmail, that means the client or your user has to use their personal Gmail account to log in to use Remote Desktop. I don't know if that's right or wrong, right? So Play right now for our primary phone services. Right now, we are utilizing Mitel for our voice systems for communication. In house, we're trying to take advantage of Microsoft Team because it has the video and audio conferencing as well. If you figure the policies within Microsoft Team in the admin portal, you're able to open up Teams to allow outside people to join Microsoft Teams. We haven't looked into Skype Business. A lot of people don't like Skype Business, and I'm like, Skype, it's there. Office 365 gives us Skype Business. Take advantage of it. Why not, right? So for the individuals that are using Skype for Business, are you guys actually building a server inside your infrastructure, or are you guys using Skype for Business within Office 365? All right. I know Office 365, Skype for Business, when you install the Microsoft Suite, Skype for Business, the app does get installed into your machine. If you configure the deployment, right, you can remove it. For Skype for Business is there. So are you guys using that, or are you building like an in-house Skype for Business server so you can manage everything within a server base, right? Are you guys doing that? Oh, sweet, sweet. See, that's the problem of using Google Remote Desktop because you don't want your users to use their personal Gmail account. You don't want that, right? I wouldn't want that. And I believe if you're using Gmail Suite, like the business one, as an admin, I should be able to see or manage who's logged in remotely. I'm assuming. You know, we not too long ago got away from Google Business and moved over to Office 365. Okay, you are building Skype for Business. So have you, for the person that has the Skype for Business server locally, have you even tried using Skype for Business on Office 365 rather than just, building a server locally? I would like to know what's the advantages or disadvantages because it's something that I could look into. Seriously, Virtue Hawk? Microsoft Team has been working great for you? Congrats. Microsoft Teams for me has been a hit and miss. A couple of people are having issues, but I know you guys are gonna laugh about this. I know a lot of you guys that are right now looking at me right now. I'm gonna tell you guys something. This is what I experience in real life. Hopefully you guys experience as well. So you probably kind of like understand where I'm coming from. So I've had a couple of users remote into their machines to establish a Zoom meeting. Think about that. Take a moment and think about that before you guys chat and start laughing. Yes, someone actually established a remote desktop to start a video and audio Zoom meeting. Use Microsoft Teams or Zoom. And they contacted me and my IT manager stating, "Oh my God, it's not working. I can't get into the Zoom meeting." I run over to them thinking that they're in the office and they're not there. So I'm like, okay, they're probably in the conference room. So I go in the conference room looking around. They're not there. I email them back and they stating, "Oh, but I'm home." Huh? You should not remote into your machine to establish a video and audio conference. Do that stuff locally. Seriously. And I think that's one of the couple issues that I have right now. People are trying to remote into their systems at their 9 to 5 job workstation to establish a team meeting, like an audio and video conference. You should not be doing that. You can do that stuff locally. Okay. Microsoft Team is a free app, super easy. You log in using your email address and password, and you're in. That's it. You're good. And I think Microsoft Team also has a web app. SharePoint as well. So Virtue Hawk. So my question to you is, are you fully utilizing SharePoint to the point? Do you have all your file shares synced up there, or do you have your users just using their 1 terabyte size of SharePoint? Right? Yes, Play. I kind of agree. Microsoft is pushing Teams extremely hard. Microsoft Team is just like Slack. So a lot of corporations right now are using Slack. So they're using Slack, but they're also using Office 365. So I believe Microsoft is trying to say, hey, those individuals that are using our services, we got something better than Slack. Continue using our services. Wintergate, I agree with you. That is so true. So true. Microsoft start raising prices because everyone enjoys the service. I kind of see that. I see a huge price going up on the E3 tier because everyone is using Microsoft Teams, especially if it's going well. Just hopefully their services just get better, right? Nice. Nice. Wow, 5 terabytes per user. I wonder how much, because I think we are also using E3. And I think you're able to manage the what you call it, the size of each um SharePoint. I'm like literally logging into it right now because, like I said at the very beginning, I'm at my 9 to 5 job right now, setting everything up. These past couple weeks, it's been busy, really busy. Hmm, cool. All right. I'm actually looking at the quota, so you are able to manage it. You're able to manage it. You could give everyone 5 terabytes, but you are able to manage it. And I think I have it set up to 1 terabyte. I don't want to give my users 5 terabytes of space. They go freaking nuts. Because I'm looking at my settings right now, and the default setting is 1 terabyte. But you are able to do a PowerShell command right now to do a what is it, set with a parameter of SharePoint tenant, and then you're able to just identify the quota of storage, so you're able to max it out to 5 terabytes. Thank you for that, Virtual Heart. Kudos. Thank you, thank you. I thought automatically there was 1 terabyte, but it looks like I'm able to modify it and increase it to 5 terabytes. Well, that's the max that you could have for one drive. So that's awesome. I didn't know that. I thought by default there's 1 terabyte. Yeah, OneDrive is huge. E3 is like 20 per. Yeah, that's true. Okay, so with Office 365, it gets tricky because if you are a nonprofit organization, you could get a good cheap discount. I mean, really cheap. Like maybe like $5 per user. That's really good. If you're not a nonprofit organization, you're gonna spend like maybe $20, right? I think if you're also a nonprofit organization, they give you E2 for free, 1,000 licenses. E2. I'm gonna say it again. Is it E2? I'm gonna check right now because we took advantage of the E2 free license. I think for Office 6, yep, Office 365 E2. If you're a nonprofit organization, you are able to apply for a 1,000 license E2 account for free, $0. The only limitations that you have is you can install Office and license it. I believe you don't get Windows 10. I believe you don't get Active Directory, Azure Active Directory, but you are able to do Word Online. You're able to get email and all that stuff. Again, 1,000 licenses. That's not that bad for free if you're a nonprofit organization. So take advantage of that if you are a nonprofit organization. I'm not even advertising for Microsoft. I'm just telling you guys what I have used in the past. We even used Google as well. Google was great, but our CEO did not like Google. Google did not work well with Outlook because he's an Outlook user who wants something more natively. So that's the reason why we migrated away from Google and we went into Office 65, and he loved it. You know, if your CEO is happy, you're happy, right? So I'm reading the chat to make sure I answer all the questions. We've been going about 45 minutes. For those that join in, I appreciate the love. I appreciate the feedback. This is great. We all got to stick together. I mean, all system admins and network admins, we got to stick together. We got to help each other out, right? Because right now we in the front, we are the pawns. You know what I'm saying? This is like a chessboard, and the front of the line of the pawns, us, we the pawns, and we gotta protect the other guys. We gotta protect the rook and the bishop and the knight and all that stuff. This is crazy. Virtual Heart, I appreciate it. Happy that we have this right here. We're sharing this knowledge and just being there with each other. I mean, if the connection is kind of laggy, it's because I'm using my phone for the very first time, doing a live stream. So this is pretty cool to me, using my phone. So I don't even know. I'm gonna take a picture of me streaming so I can show you guys. See? Oh, I'm gonna show you. See? I'm on my phone. That's my phone. I'm using my phone, and I'm using some Bluetooth thingies. So that's how I'm rocking this live stream. I don't have anything fancy or anything. I don't have no fancy equipment, fancy cameras or anything. I'm just using my phone, talking to you guys. I got my 3 monitors right now. I'm making sure the Mac users are logged in, making sure Office 365, our file sync is going, making sure the VPN is good to go, cleaning up stuff in the background. I'm just going crazy right now. Yep, that's another very important question as well. Privacy is a huge thing. Um, it's really hard. I would say, it's really hard when it comes down to privacy because if you have a file share is broken down to, let's say, departments. And you have like a finance and administration department, and if you drag the entire folder up into like Dropbox, you can't really manage the file share permissions, right? That means if you drag that stuff up in Dropbox, everyone has access to that. So it's really tricky when you're dealing with permissions and stuff and you're dealing with the cloud. The way that I am managing that right now is using Azure and Azure AD, right? I give my users a special link. The link will point to the Azure storage account, and then when they log in, they will use their Azure AD credentials. And then that right there will allow them to have access to their folders. That is how I am managing permissions. But for those individuals that cannot afford Azure AD or Azure storage account, and you're using like Dropbox or Box Enterprise or OneDrive or whatever, permissions are going to get tricky. E1 license, that's the same license that I'm using right now for personal usage anyway. Play say every employee in our company has to work from home now because of ongoing situations. How about your company? My company right now, Play, it's a gamble. We have a couple of people that are now working from home because one, from my understanding, the virus, the issue that's coming right now, uh, it's attacking individuals with repository, issues, and that person has like asthma, and this other person has problems breathing and stuff like that. So they got the okay from the CEO to stay home. We also have a couple of young ladies that are pregnant. So that's a definite, pregnant ladies, you don't know how this virus is going to attack the baby, so it's best that they stay home. Our CEO hasn't given us like the stamp on it, like, okay, office is closed. Because public schools in New York are still open, we haven't got it okay. We're still on to business. So Monday morning, most likely, everyone's going to be here. The majority of the people, for those individuals that got laptops from on Fridays, they're going to work from home, right? I'm going to be at my 9 to 5 job to be here. And the only reason I want to be in the city is because my son's in the city, so I would like to be as close as possible with him. Be as close as possible, for him. Yeah, right? That's it, right? I'm going nuts. But I know a lot of companies right now closing. Google's closed. A couple of blocks from where I work right now, there's a Google headquarters. They closed shop as well. A lot of huge businesses right now are closing shop. Oh shoot. Lizzie, I think that's how you say it. I think that's how you say it. You know, I'm horrible with names, so I apologize for me pronouncing this stuff wrong. So he or she stated, imagine going to a new job as IT, and you see that guys are giving laptops without domain joining. All the VPN used was Open VPN server on Linux server, and guy configuring VPN one by. Oh my gosh, I'd have quit. I would have quit that same day. I was like, nope. I'd have dropped my. I was like, nope, I'm out. I'd have left. I'd have been out of there. I was like, there's no way in hell. There's no way in hell. No, 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 no. Cause it's like playing Overwatch or playing COD, and then you have a garbage team, and you're trying to carry the rest of the team, and no one's doing their part. No way. I'd have left. I would say, nope. I'm sorry. This job is not for me. I'm out of here. I can't do this. Must be Java earpieces. Why? What happened? Oh, no, these are not really Java. Whoa, just got cut off. Wonk wonk. That's crazy. I just got cut off. I apologize for that. Again, new service. I'm using something new. But um, these are the headphones that I'm using right now. I did a review for you guys a while back. I had so many problems with these headphones. I finally got them to work. But Helm Audios, these are the ones that I'm using right now. So, yeah. Did a review. I gave a half of the video. I did, I said it was great. And then the ending of the video, I was like, they're shitty. They horrible. Pardon my French. But eventually, I got them to work again, and they've been working with no problem. So I'm happy with them. Dave said my company in Spain use M365 E3 license, and all devices are managed by Intune. Awesome. That is a great way. So Dave Lopez, my other question is, are you taking advantage with Intune and Autopilot with your Windows devices? I always wanted to get myself into Intune and do an Autopilot with Windows devices because I've heard a lot of good things about that. Okay, we are using to install every server local, and every server is in the HA. We even have local net cloud as cloud. All right, cool, man. I mean, a lot of you guys have a good plan, man. I'm excited that you guys are here sharing out your knowledge to me because I'm writing everything down. I feel like probably lost. Feel like I lost a little bit of the quality of the video, but we're just gonna continue. Right now we're like 54. I might drop it maybe for an hour. Still getting like emails. Like I don't want to be rude. I don't want you guys to think like I'm not paying attention. It's just like I'm getting emails right now. I am getting a lot of requests right now, so I'm making sure that everyone is happy, and I'm also reading your stuff too. Pronounce it. Thank you. What you said is true. They didn't even know how to add license. Oh my God. I mean, Google. I mean, Google it, Christ. I mean, the majority of people don't even want to Google. They just want you to have the answer. Just like answer it, damn it. All right, just answer it. That's why you're here. You're an IT person. You should know everything. Like, what are you talking about? I'm not gonna know everything. I'm gonna Google it myself if I don't understand it, and then I'm gonna try it out. That's all right. Also, I managed to Azure group so that Outlook or web would work, and also MFA set to desk. Okay, cool. Ooh, that's fly. I like that approach. Nice. Good plan. That's great plan. Love that. All right, so we are 55 minutes into this live stream, man. I thank you so much for those people that joined me, and you are amazing. What is your guys' mail system? Mail system right now is Office 365 all the way. Like I said before, I've been using Microsoft Office 365. We used to house our Exchange, our inboxes locally. I mean, that's a pain in the butt. We might, and then after Exchange server locally, we went up to Google, and Google was great for a couple years, especially, we found good discounts, good prices, and then we migrated over to Office 365, and then we're just stuck with Office 365 right now. I think there's only a couple of services that you could use right now. You could either house your Exchange server locally, you could go to Google, or you could go to Office 365. I think those are the three main things, the three main email services or systems that you have right now in the market. Those three, I believe those are the only three, or those are the only three that I know. If you guys know more than me, let me know, because I'm about to Google it right now. Ugh, that makes no sense. No one should be establishing a Zoom meeting within their remote desktop. That shit does not make any sense. Why would you remote into your machine at your 9 to 5 job to start a freaking Zoom meeting? Seriously? Why would you start a Zoom meeting on your remote desktop if you're not physically there to use your audio and video? Download the damn Zoom app locally on your machine and establish the Zoom so the laptop that you're using will take advantage of the local webcam and the local audio, and you should have no lag time. Oh my gosh. Serious? Why would you think twice about Office 365? Is it that bad in EU? Mr. Rusty Bone Games. I'm finishing up on a on-premise to Office 365 hybrid deployment as we speak. Nice. Oof, that's pretty tricky. So on-premise to hybrid deployment to Office 365. So what do you have on-premise and what do you have up in Office 365? Because I never actually approached that. So how is the split? Do you have the inboxes locally? And then you have the services like OneDrive, SharePoint on the server side? How do we get a successful system admin? I can't really tell you. I mean, I would say when you're hiring, you check their credentials, put them into the test, right? The best that you could do is if they telling you that they know how to do X, Y, and Z. For example, if they tell you they know how to do SCCM deployment, put them inside the SCCM deployment before you hire them and see what they can do, all right? If they know how to do X, Y, and Z, or their resume says X, Y, and Z, put them inside that line of fire to test them out before you hire them. Because if not, the majority of the time they're going to be Googling or looking at YouTube videos to try to figure out what the hell is going on. We have order email boxes. We didn't want to license. Ah, got it. All right. Was it a huge cost difference, Rusty Bone Games? Was it a budget thing that you guys did that approach? Yeah, big cost difference about eight. Oh my gosh, I just threw up in my mouth. 8K, wow. I mean, I'm assuming that 8K actually came from the IT budget, because typically it is. Did you guys at least made a case to not do it on premise to hybrid and just put everything into the cloud, or you just guys said you guys just said, ugh, whatever, okay, we do it this route? Oh my gosh, that is crazy. That is a big budget. Damn. Wow. I am extremely jealous of you, Rusty Bone Games. $1 million budget for IT. Wow. Yeah, what company are you working for, Rusty Bone James? If you got a 1 million budget for IT, that is nuts. 450 employees. Wow. I worked for a company that had 1,000 plus users all across the country, and our budget was not that much. It was probably maybe six figures, but never 1 million. That's crazy. Well, the company that I'm working right now is about 200 plus users, um, and the majority of them is all consultants. They're VPNing into the network. They're laptop users, and I would say, yeah, and the rest of them are just in-house people. Virtue Hawk, I am the same way. Me and my IT manager, we're constantly looking around for like, oh, what can we cut? What can we do by ourselves? Can we cut this? Can we eliminate this? That's basically us. Does this person really need a new machine? This person don't need a new machine. They haven't complained for a couple years, so let them keep that old machine and let's take that budget and use it for something else. That's typically how it works for any IT place that doesn't have a big budget. You're always trying to cut corners to make it fit. But sometimes when times like this, the CEO be like, look, screw it. Budget's out the door, get whatever you need to make it work. Ooh, nice. All users get new Surface Pro 6 with LTE services. Wow, I can imagine when you're going to deploy your image to all those machines. It'd be sweet to see all of them lined up, plug them into the network, and just pixie boot all of them. Start a bidding war with all the vendors. Yeah, that's true. It'd be funny. But some vendors don't budge. Sometimes they do not want to budge and give you a low price. Oh my gosh. Cutting corners leaves me spinning up Gen 7 HPE servers with ESXi 6.0. What? Damn. How many virtual machines you can have in that type of machine, LG? What type of configuration do you even have? Memory, CPU, hard drive space. Rusty Bone Games said, to be honest, BTNHD, you helped a lot with my MDT server. So where's my cut? Where's my money, Rusty Bones? Nah, I'm just joking. I'm just happy that you guys appreciate the videos and it helps you out, right? Because it helps me out when you guys give me feedback. 96 gigs, 24 cores. Ooh, what type of hard drive space? What kind of hard drive? SCSI? Please don't say iSCSI. 16 blades. Nice. Well, it's not that bad. How many years have I worked for IT? Shoosh. I worked for IT since I was 16 years old. I am currently, I think I'm 38 years old. I'm an old fart. And I'm still learning. I'm still learning. We are using ESX 5.1 servers. I tried to push for VMware, but it's a Hyper-V shop. Yeah, that's true. Compare with Hyper-V and VMware, it's really hard because Hyper-V is really price-wise is really cheap. It's not too expensive with Hyper-V. VMware, oh my God, just licenses. The way that they set up the license is a shit show. Again, pardon my French. It is crazy when you're purchasing a VMware license. With Hyper-V, one of the cool things is you pay one shot, and that Hyper-V license, you're able to, what do you call it? Activate Windows servers within Hyper-V if you're creating a virtual machine. That's one of the cool things about Hyper-V. Rusty Bone Games, a Xeon Gold 6150 with 500 gigs DD. Ooh, nice. Ooh, that is a sweet setup. Dude, I am super jealous of you. That is so fly. If I had that type of system, dude, I'd have been pushing out so many awesome videos to you guys with a or SAN. Ah, how is the SAN connected by fiber? Is it a fiber connection? Rusty Bone Games? Any of you guys using like a net app? I know back to one of my old jobs must be fiber. Definitely has to be a fiber connection. I know I've used in the past in one of my old jobs. I used to have like a NetApp fiber connections. We had like maybe 4 or 5 fiber connections connected to a switch, and then that's it was crazy, man. And it was like fast speed. Plus we had dedupe enabled on the NetApp. Oh, it was beautiful. I really miss NetApp. A NetApp server to house all our file shares, but it's just too expensive. Ooh, nice, nice, nice. So a lot of you guys. So what's your flavor with servers now? Like, what are you guys running? Are you guys running a like? I'm a Dell shop, right? Are you guys using Lenovo, HPs? What are you guys using? Like right now, like I said before, I am running Dells. I'm happy with Dell. I'm not having any problems with Dell. So it's like, okay. Oh, Mindu. I think that's how you say it. Mindu's using NetApp. Awesome. Love NetApp, especially if you do everything on the NetApp command prompt. Woof, it just works awesome. I love it. Use your SCCM videos as Bible truth side note. Thank you, LG. Thank you, LG. I even use my SCCM videos as a uh like a wake up call. It's like my Bible as well. Cisco network equipment. Yep, I got Cisco switches. We not too long ago upgraded our Cisco's. We not too long ago upgraded our switches from Dell Connects to Cisco switches, and I am extremely happy, especially if you're able to console in and modify everything through command prompt. It's just I love Cisco switches. It's one of the cool things. You're able to manage everything with no problem, and once you got it set up, it works. Hello from UK. Thank you for stopping by. Dell servers, Lenovo laptops for clients. Nice. What virtual hard? What type of Lenovo laptops are you using? Are you using like the T series, the ThinkPads? The majority of the ThinkPads are what's known in the 9 to 5 world, right? In the workforce. I don't really see like a yoga or like a yoga tablet being used in like a work environment. T and X series. Yep, the X series as well. And if you have like heavy mobile workstation people, the P lineup is also great as well. Cisco or Meraki? Isn't Meraki? Meraki is Cisco. They're the same vendor. It's just Cisco bought Meraki out. Yeah, Aruba is really good too. Aruba is really good. Aruba is good with their Wi-Fi as well, but for Wi-Fi implementation, Unify. That's a great company, super cheap. One of the things I like about them is that you don't have to purchase a license for each access point. I've dealt with wireless systems that you have to have a certain amount of licenses for your access points to be provisioned within the system to work properly. With Unify, if you have a huge, like a 24 port switch, you can have 24 access points lined up with no problem. That's one of the things I like about that. X1 Carbon and T480s. Ooh, T480s are great. X1 Carbons for 9 to 5? All right, that's pretty. X1 Carbons are not that bad. I'm assuming what, the Gen 1 or the Gen 2 series Virtual Hawk? Oh, and another thing. Another thing. Make sure that your antivirus programs are up to date. Please, you know, make sure that all your antivirus definitions are up to date. Please do not, if you, yeah, and because you're going to be having a lot of remote connections into people's remote desktops, make sure that your clients' machines have a legit antivirus software. If you have it centralized to the point that you have a server that's pushing out, definitions, upgrades, and stuff, make sure that stuff is licensed, upgraded, and it's working functional. It's working correctly, right? It's functional. Well, that's an extremely important thing too. Well, for MIM, I've never actually used the SFP ports before. Um, I've never actually used them before. I'm trying to remember if I did. Configuration wise, because I know at my old job, we probably have used those fiber ports before, but I wasn't the one that configured them, so I can't personally say I'm the one who I configured it myself. So I can't really give you like, okay, this is what you need to do, how to configure it. So I'm definitely the wrong person to tell you. So I'm sorry about that. Flatjack King, we buy HP Elite books. The build quality is really good. Awesome. Think Dell XPSs, they're pretty good too. We actually for laptops for our consultants that work outside of the office, that is the main laptop that we purchased, the XPSs. I believe we purchased the nine series. It's the one with the webcam that's placed in the right location, not the one that's. We have a couple of XPSs that the webcam is still on the lower left hand side, but we stopped purchasing those and we started purchasing the ones with the webcam at the top. I think it's like the 73 something series or the 93 something series. Those work extremely well. Everyone is happy. Got that nice little carbon fiber feel of it. Who loves it? Gotta love that, right? Using Carbon Black and DNS filter for all clients, awesome. We run Trend Micro, always up to date, awesome. Rusty Boom, for Trend Micro, is there like a centralized client that you have, like a server that you're able to monitor, push out clients, push out updates? Because I'm actually looking for a new antivirus system because I'm actually utilizing and taking advantage of SEP. If you don't know what SEP stands for, it is Semantic Endpoint Protection. It has worked flawless, but for some reason Semantics was purchased by another vendor, and it is a headache trying to get license and seats from them. And I'm so pissed off because the client worked so well for us, and it was just great deploying, managing, everything was just awesome. The dashboard, it works. But for some reason, Semantics decided to be sold to someone else. They didn't want to deal with other people's problems, so they gave their problems to someone else. Yes, Broadcon. Oh my God, Rusty Bone Games. I think Rusty Bone Games and Virtual Hawk, we're like linked. We're like synced. Like Virtual Hawk, Mytel, and then we got Rusty Bones already know the headaches and the pain that I'm going through with Semantics Endpoint right now. Because yes, Broadcon, they purchased it. It is a headache because they don't want you to communicate with them. You have to go through a vendor to get a license. Nuts. It's crazy. Like yo, crazy. Okay. Oh, I like okay. Centralized ESET all day for me. Centralized management, good company, easy license model. Cool, cool. So Neil, for the license model, is it based on how many clients that you install their system? Because I'm assuming the majority of them are like that. So if you have 100 clients, they're gonna charge you for 100 license. Or do they give you like a nice little deal? Play, I know that one too. I cannot pronounce it, so I'm just gonna say Kaspersky. I definitely can't pronounce that thing. I've heard about that as well. I think the one that I'm actually looking at right now to see if we are able to migrate away from our current situation, which is semantics endpoint. I'm trying to remember the name of it. It's like message. It's not message. Damn, I can't remember it. What is it? What is it? What is it? What is it? Sugar. It's not sugar either. The hell is that? What the hell is that name? I can't remember the name. I'm looking for it right now, so I could tell you guys. Oh man, where the hell is it? Oh, I think it's. Is it Bitdefender? Yes, Bitdefender is something that I was looking into. Did has anyone in the chat used Bitdefender? Bitdefender. They got like a Bitdefender Gravity Zone Business Security. Has anyone used that before? And I'm jotting down some of the things that you guys have mentioned. Ooh, $6 a year for protection. Ooh, I like that. Oh man. I enjoy talking to you guys. I enjoy doing these live streams with you guys because I learned so much from you guys, and I appreciate the love and the feedback. Oh, Mindu is not a big fan with Bitdefender. He's like, no way. So that is a huge no. Is that a huge no? Bitdefender, no. I got two people that use Trin, so I'm definitely gonna look into that. We have ESAT. We have the one that I cannot pronounce. Let's call it Sky for now, right? Kaspersky. Rusty Bone Games. Trend Micro. I'm definitely gonna look into that one. I like the pricing. Pricing is good. The pricing matches what we used to pay for the semantic endpoint protection. So we're trying to find something that would match that as well as give us a nice centralized thing. We I don't even want to think about us using Microsoft Defender as our primary unless I no. So that's a huge no for me. Neil, how many seats do you need? Well, for me, about 100 seats. 100 seats is pretty good for me. It's not that bad. And the only reason why I need 100 seats, these 100 seats are mostly local people for outside consultants in their laptops. I still have the license that the semantic endpoint license that the laptop users have, the consultants. It's going to last me for a couple years, so I'm not even worrying about that now. I'm worrying about the seats that I have locally because that's going to be running up by next year. So I'm trying to plan ahead and make sure that stuff is running. And the only reason that the whole antivirus thing came up is because a lot of the users are going to remote into their machines. You just got to make sure that that stuff is. That's another thing that we need to add into the checklist dealing with this tough time. These tough times that we're dealing with right now. Make sure antivirus systems are up to date. Make sure the firewalls are up to date. Make sure your ports, you have whatever ports open correctly, up to date. That's a lot. It's crazy. Oh, Wetroot. No. I don't like Wetroot. Wetroot was actually installed before my time. Before I started my 9 to 5 job, they actually had Wetroot. We moved away from it. I didn't like it. It was really clunky. Yeah, they're lightweights, but I just don't like. I try Wetroot, and I just don't like it. Yes, Reed, I agree with you. Wetroot used to be good, but right now, oh no. No. Right now, I'm leaning towards Trend Micro. because a couple of you guys look like you use it and you got good feedback on it. I'm gonna look into that. I'm gonna definitely look into that. Oh damn! I got to set up a point-to-point network, one plant to another, 2 blocks away. Mexico when the cold. Damn, that's crazy. Have you guys ever utilized or took or did any research on riverbanks? I think my one of my old jobs we used to have like, is it called riverbank? I'm trying to. Was it called a river? It's not called riverbank. It was called something else. It was like a server that allows you to connect to another site, and you're able to pre-populate folders over to the next site. Damn, what's the name of it? It was River something. Oh, I forgot the name of it. Riverbed. Oh, thank you. Oh, you're the man. Thank you, Riverbed. I said what the hell? I said Riverbank. Riverbed. Yes. Yes. Riverbed. Yeah. I used to work for an architect firm, and we used to have like riverbeds in each colo in each location, and they used to have to share like AutoCADs and like AutoCAD files, Revit files. It was an architect firm, and they had to share like a bunch of files to people from Hong Kong, Japan, whatever, different countries, Mexico, whatever. And we used to utilize and take advantage of the Riverbed because it allowed us to cache in those files over to another location, and that's the way that we work. But it's something that you could look into. Man, I haven't looked into riverbeds for a minute. It's not one of those things that I need myself, but it's yeah. I'm actually searching riverbed, and I just saw the riverbed steelhead CX 5055 series. That's the one that we actually used, uh, or the one that I used to manage when I used to work at this architect firm. Most likely, it might have upgraded everything to the cloud base because everything is cloud right now. A lot of people are trying to like not purchase hardware. Nice. Nice setup, Rusty Bone Games. I like that setup. Can you use Azure storage accounts with file sync nowadays? There's a possibility. I haven't tried it myself. I know with Azure Storage Account, you are able to set up. And so with Azure Storage Account, you're able to create the Azure Storage Account, and then you're able to do like create a Azure file sync thing that allows you to like a client to sync stuff locally to the Azure client to the Azure account. I think I'm probably explaining that wrong, but there is a file sync option that Azure provides you to sync stuff to the storage account that you create. I tried it myself and it was not working out for me, so I had to do some workarounds to get it up and running. So the way that I got it working was I created the storage account from Azure. Then I mounted that storage locally to a server. Then I created a script that will talk to my file share and sync everything over to that mounted drive with all the permissions and everything set. So I manually created a PowerShell script to do all that for me. I didn't like the way that the file sync agent was working, so I just took advantage and did that. Oh, okay, my bad, Reed. Yeah, you could do it. I just had a lot of problems doing the file sync stuff with Azure. Like I said before, the way that I got around it was I just created a PowerShell script, mounted the storage account on a local server, like it was a network drive, and the PowerShell script talks to the file share, grabs all those files with the permissions, and just drops them in there. It worked flawless because then I was able to output I was able to output a log file And if I had any issues, I was able to look at the log file. So I got that running that way. So I'm happy that's working. Yes, I agree with you, Rust. It is extremely cheap. I personally have an Azure account. Deploying operating systems. I think there's two types. You have like premium and standard for hard drive space. If you do like the premium one, it's gonna cost a little bit of money because those are like solid state drives that they're running. And but pushing out an operating system, it is fast, especially if you're pushing out um, like a Linux box. Woof, like that. Just enter all the information, create your network interface, assign a username and a password, select your subscription, select what region you're in, you hit launch, boom. If you're smart, like I wasn't at the beginning, but I started doing it, I started copying the PowerShell scripts because then you're able to connect to your Azure account using PowerShell and then you could do everything manually and then script everything. Whew, that's the best part about that. I love that. Azure, I think Azure is the way. If you are in Microsoft Shop, if you do everything Microsoft, I think with Azure they also have Windows Virtual Desktop right now, and that's a feature that you're able to deploy within Azure. If you're using Microsoft Office 365, if you have your Office 365 right now, and Active Directory connected to Azure AD Connect, go use Azure. Take advantage of all that stuff, man. The stuff works well if you are in Microsoft Shop. Yeah, the WVD is awesome, and I swear to you guys, I am trying my hardest to plan a how-to video to deal with Windows Virtual Desktop using Azure. I just haven't had the time to do it. It's in my to-do list. I'm telling you guys, I want to push out so much stuff for you guys, but the resources and the time is just so hard, especially now with all this stuff is happening. I'm like constantly getting emails. It's driving me nuts. I have so many tabs open. Ugh. Crazy, crazy, crazy. We are going, wow, been a long time. 88 minutes. We got a Azure cheat sheet with PowerShell and Azure CLI commands. Oh, was it like a PDF? Like it was like a PDF like with graphs and it tells you all the commandlets that you could use and all that stuff. Because if that's it, I have one of them. And I2 MDM, you never have to touch a machine. This is so true. I just finished some deployments, man. It's a lot at first, but it's really simple. I mean, yeah, Reed, I agree with you. Like the first setup, initializing your setup is the hardest part. But once you have everything set up and it's automated, you could just start click a button and just walk away and just relax, grab a cup of coffee or water and just look at it and just it's basically you're looking at paint dry in the wall, just making sure nothing goes belly up on you. But once it's working, it's working. It is. I agree with you. It is a pain setting everything up, but once you got it up, it's up for life. And then all you have to do is just a couple of minor tweaks and to get it up and running, or a couple of upgrades. But overall, once you got it up, you're good. Oh, got you, got you, got you. A self-made cheat sheet. Awesome. All right, guys, I'm going to end it right here. I'm trying to finish up a couple of things for those individuals that tuned in, chatted, gave me those thumbs up. There were two of you that gave me thumbs down. So it's okay. It'd have been nice if you guys gave me some feedback on why you gave me thumbs down. Just not give me thumbs down and leave. Right? Give me some feedback. How the hell can I improve to make this much better for you guys? Huh? Huh? So, for those that are still on chatting, going crazy, you're probably at work right now, remoting into your workstation, going crazy as well, working like a crazy man like me. Any thoughts on virtualization? Virtualization is the way to go. Damn, another good topic. I wanted to leave, dude, and then you come out with another good topic. Virtualization is great. You have two options with virtualization. You have AWS or you have VMware Cloud. AWS is extremely popular right now. Azure is another big one as well. You're able to house all your virtual machines up there. That kind of relieves of anyone accessing machines there. Like we said before, Windows virtual desktops, you could take advantage of that within Azure, and boom, you don't have to worry about your building, going on fire, and no one's able to access their desktops because hey, it's in Azure. Let Microsoft have the headache. Azure, AWS, man, yup, I agree with Reed. Those are the two best ones. VM Cloud is another good service. I never really look into it, but I have a good friend that he is a VMware guru. He could probably, if he was here, he actually tells you the ins and out with VMware right now. This is true. You are able to integrate VMware with Azure. Um, but I think that I don't think I've tried that. I've seen the feature that you're able to integrate it, but I don't know how well it works. See, the relicensing is what kills VMware. Again, I agree. I definitely agree. If you look up VMware right now, it's broken down by I think like standard, enterprise, and something else. And then it's also broken down by how many cores or how many memory, how many virtual machines. It just gets extremely expensive, VMware. Like your products are awesome, but don't make it so damn expensive. Damn. And they do work. I love their products. It's just they're so expensive. And sometimes I have to push myself towards Hyper-V. Hyper-V is not that it's not cheap and it's not expensive depending on how you get the license. But once you got that license, you're able to get a certain amount of virtual machines license under the Hyper-V license because I think you're able to license I forgot how many Windows operating systems you're able to piggyback on the Hyper-V license. But that's another cool thing. Create a Hyper-V server, create virtual machines using, for Windows 10, and they automatically get licensed because they're piggybacking on a Hyper-V infrastructure. So that's one of the cool things I like about that. Physical CPUs, yeah. See, so I'm saying like how many CPUs you want to get like a huge machine with a lot of cores, and if you got a lot of cores and you can only utilize maybe 4 or 5 cores because of the price, what's the point of buying such a powerhouse machine? Proxmox is another good one too. I think I did a live stream with you guys on the server room dealing with Proxmox. That's a good one too. Based on a Linux platform, you're able to configure it. I don't really know the licensing on that part. Man, Hyper-V on its own is not very useful. You have to connect to each hypervisor separately. I agree with you, but if you're using, correct me if I'm wrong, if you're using System Center Virtual Machine Manager, you could probably manage all your Hyper-V nodes with that. Because that's what I have at my 9 to 5 job. I have a System Server Virtual Machine Manager. I have all my Hyper-V nodes onto that, as well as I have my VMware nodes inside the System Center Virtual Machine Manager into that, and I'm able to manage everything in one little management console. Oh, I love that. Yes, Rusty Bones licensing from VMware is crazy, about 70K a year. Oh my god. And does that include upgrades, firmware, and support? Probably not. That's just the license itself. VMware updated license to cores. Thank you. Yep. Oh, so it's not memory, it's in cores now. But still, it kind of sucks because if you have a server with so many cores and you want to utilize all those cores, I don't really know if it brings up the cost because the System Center Virtual Machine Manager was part of the package that my IT manager got. So I don't know, my IT manager, he's all about saving money. He's able to find coupons and deals and negotiate. That's one of the things I love about him. He's able to negotiate the price down. He's I don't know who he spoke or what particular vendor, but we were able to get System Center Virtual Machine Manager. I don't know how much was it. I know he said, "Hey Bernardo, this is what we got." And when I opened up the suite, we had System Center, we had SCCM, we had VMM. I was like, oh shoot, we got System Center Virtual Machine Manager. Oh, I want it. So I installed it. I started playing around with it, and I saw that I was able to add all the Hyper-V nodes, and I was able to install all the virtual machine. I mean, not all the virtual machines, all the VMware ESXi nodes into it, and like managing it. It was so freaking simple. I was like, I loved it. I fell in love with it. Like, oh, I'm good. Something they brought out away when Hyper-V first came, and it sucked. Cores is what you want to get more VMs. It's true. I'm using RDC Manager. It's included in the data center license. Windows Server licenses got way better. I agree with you, Reed. Windows, it's on their game. You know, it's like fine wine, right? You know, I think the older the wine gets, the better it tastes. That's like I think that's what Microsoft is, like fine wine. The older Microsoft gets, the better their services get. 2016, 2019 have it built in. Yep, thank you. Thank you for clarifying that. Awesome. Say for updates. I think that's the only thing that Microsoft is still working on is Windows updates. That's like the number one thing that they're still trying to figure out to push out Windows updates to us correctly without breaking anything. Yeah, I agree with you, Neil. They're maturingly slowly. Like I say, it's like fine wine. I think the older the wine gets, the better it tastes. That's how I feel like Microsoft is. It's like wine. The older they're getting, the better they're getting with their services, slowly but surely. But it kind of sucks because their services are everywhere. When you purchase a PC from Best Buy or Walmart or Target or Tiger Direct or Newegg.com or wherever, Lenovo, the primary operating system is Windows, Microsoft. So it's like you would think they will be on their game with their services. Oh my God, bro. He's like, they fired their QA team for updates. Barnacles, who stream on Twitch, was one, and he talks about it. Damn, that is crazy. I know who Barnacle is. Yeah, he was. He was a Microsoft person. Hey, you can believe that? That's crazy. They fired their entire Windows update team because, like, don't fire them. Sit down, have a powwow, and say, how can we fix this? How can we fix this? It's the same thing with Windows 10. Don't they have like that Windows feedback hub that people are constantly giving feedback? Hey, how about you create a Windows update hub and get feedback from people and read it and figure out how to fix it so you won't break stuff. I know back then, a couple years ago, when you used to have to push out a Windows security patch because Microsoft was like, oh, this is critical, this is a security breach and blah, 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 we need to push it out. And then once you push it out, what happens? Half of your machines are not booting up. Why they're not booting up? Because what was the last thing that happened to all your machines? It was a Windows update. And then you had to go in, remove the Windows update, pull back the Windows update, and then you had to wait until Microsoft pushed out what do you call it, a rollback of that KB to push out the one that push out another KB to fix out the KB that they. Oh, it's freaking confusing. Like, come on, serious? Crazy. All right, I'm gonna end it right here, guys. I'm just gonna end it right here. Hopefully all of you guys stay safe, be careful, wash your hands 20 seconds. This right here is gold. I can't believe this stuff was sold out. Jesus Christ, can you believe this little thing right here? Like, come on. This is common sense. And everyone should be practicing basic hygienes no matter what. All of a sudden, everyone wants to start practicing basic hygienes. You should have been practicing that years ago. Every day you should practice basic hygienes. Why all of a sudden someone has to die, all of a sudden you want to practice basic hygiene? I don't get it. But for those that are here, thank you so much providing feedback. I have taken a shitload of notes, which I'm gonna look into. Thank you for your feedback. Thank you for your love. Thank you for tuning in. I just appreciate all of you guys. Please stay safe. Make sure your systems are safe. Make sure that you're safe, your family, if you have kids or wife, make sure everyone is safe. And God bless you guys. Thank you for joining in. And I catch you guys on the next video. Don't think it's over. I'm going to be pushing out videos next week. I already have like a crap load of stuff that I need to edit, record. Make sure you catch every Tuesday, Tech Take Tuesday. I'm still pushing that stuff out. I can't believe I'm actually on point on that. And again, thank you so much, guys. And toilet paper is gold now too. Yup, toilet paper is another thing. Toilet paper, rice, toilet paper, rice, Perel, all this stuff is like gold right now. Like everywhere is sold out. It is nuts. But again, thank you so much, guys. Take care. Take care of your families. Take care of yourself. And I catch you guys on the next one. Peace out. And how the hell do I end this? Because this is my first time doing this. And I think if I press this big X right here, it's going to close. Bye-bye. Wait. I can't. Is it over? Wait a minute. Is it over? No, I'm joking. Bye. Oh, wait.